Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetsreviews.com, and today we are going to do the comparison of the two most popular smartphones in the market. One is the iPhone 5 which we have, and the Samsung Galaxy S4 which is now available in India. If we compare both of these devices, first of all, both of these devices are fairly different in terms of the overall build quality you talk about, in the software if we talk about, as well as in terms of the overall features which you get on these devices. But again, we are doing this comparison because some of our readers actually asked for it. So now to start the comparison, first of all, I would like to say that if you take a look over the build quality on both of these phones, you have, let me just remove this plastic back cover. Now, if you take a look over both of these phones, as far as the build quality is concerned, you have metal at the back side, which is aluminum on iPhone 5, and you have an 8 megapixel camera with LED flash, which is pretty much smaller, but again quite powerful. And then you have a 13 megapixel camera at the back with LED flash on Samsung Galaxy S4, and you have a less glossy with some texture inside the back cover, again a plastic back cover on Samsung Galaxy S4. In terms of the size, Samsung Galaxy S4 is again little bit bigger from the back side, as you can easily notice, but again you have metal at the back and you have plastic at the back on Samsung Galaxy S4. If we take a look over the front side, again the display is different. You have a 5-inch display size on Samsung Galaxy S4, whereas you have a 4-inch display on iPhone 5. And again, the overall resolution of the display is pretty much different. You have a different resolution over here, and you have a higher resolution over here. You have a high definition resolution on Samsung Galaxy S4 as compared to the iPhone 5, as you can see, and you get much more higher pixel density on this device as compared to the iPhone 5. As this is how you can actually take a look over these display so when I move these devices, again the text is rendered pretty fine on the display on iPhone 5, and the formation is also pretty good. I do not notice any kind of pixels, whereas if we take a look over the S4 over here, I can see the text is again formed pretty good, and do not notice any kind of pixels if I take a closer look on Samsung Galaxy S4 as well. The battery on the device on iPhone 5 is 1440 mAh, which is much lesser as compared to the battery which we have on S4, which is 2600 mAh. The front camera, we have the 2 megapixel camera on Samsung Galaxy S4, whereas we have 1.2 megapixel camera on iPhone 5, and again both of these cameras are capable of doing high definition video chat. As the memory is concerned, you get the Samsung Galaxy S4 in 16GB variant, which is launched today. Right now the 16GB variant is only available, and the 32GB variant will come later on in India as per Samsung, whereas you get 16GB, 32GB or 64GB of iPhone 5 available here in India. As far as the weight of these devices are concerned, we have a fairly lighter iPhone 5 as compared to the Samsung Galaxy S4. However, the difference in the weight is not much, but you can feel the difference when you hold the device, both of these devices in your hand. You will feel this iPhone 5 is much lighter. Again, it has a shorter display size and a smaller form factor, so it will come into your hand very easily without any problem, whereas you have a rightly sized S4 as well, which is again little bit big, but you won't feel the size of the device once you start using the device for a day, and you will get used to this size, as well as the display is much more bigger in terms of the size as compared to the iPhone 5. So the overall multimedia experience which you get on Samsung Galaxy S4 is much better as compared to the iPhone 5. We have some additional sensors on Samsung Galaxy S4 which actually provides you all these kind of features like smart scroll, smart stay, air view, air gesture, whereas you do not have these kind of features on iPhone 5 as of now. You do have a proximity sensor over here on the left side of the earpiece. Here we have the earpiece on Samsung Galaxy S4. Again, as far as the processor is concerned, you have octa-core processor on Samsung Galaxy S4, whereas you have a dual-core A6X processor on iPhone 5. If we talk about the RAM, you have 2GB of RAM on this device, whereas you have 1GB of RAM on this device. But again, with this amount of RAM, iPhone 5 is again fairly responsive, and it doesn't lag at all while using any application. I have done quite heavy intensive tasks, as well as I have played heavy graphic games on this device, and I do not notice much lag on this device. And whereas we will see whether the S4 is going to lag or not when it comes to high graphic intensive gaming and doing some heavy task on this device. Both of these devices are fairly good in terms of the look and feel, as well as in terms of the overall form factor. You have the iPhone 5, which is actually made up of metal and glass. You have the metal at the back side, whereas you have the glass at the front side, which is again scratch resistance. And on, if we talk about Samsung Galaxy S4, you have the glass on the front side, you have the plastic back cover basically on the back side. The edges you have some kind of metal. I don't know whether this is completely a kind of a metal or an alloy, but it actually feels like metal here on the edges, which make it quite premium in terms of the overall look and feel. If you compare the width of both of these phones, iPhone 5 is actually thinner with half a mm difference as compared to Samsung Galaxy S4. So Samsung Galaxy S4 is again fairly thin because the difference is not noticeable even if you but there is a difference when it comes to the width in between iPhone 5 and the Samsung Galaxy S4. That's all from us as far as the quick comparison of Samsung Galaxy S4 and iPhone 5 is concerned. We will come up with a detailed comparison later on. That's all from us right now. Do let us know if you have any specific questions on any of these devices, and if you like this video, you can click the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.